Hello there, Power Ranger fans. My name is Kevin, aka Touring Around. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you've clicked this, we're going to be talking about Super 7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Wave 2. There was already a Wave 1 that was previously announced, and I did a similar video like this. And in that video, like I'll be doing today, I'll be speaking with my friend Kyle Wlodyga, who is the head designer of Power Rangers and other great lines at Super 7. Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Touring Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes. Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay. I have one. Do you see all the name?
Let's try them. Let's still try.
What's going on, Kyle?
Hey guys, what's up, Kev? Not much, man.
Hey guys, this isn't live.
Whatever. I'm assuming multiple people are going to watch it all at once, so
Yes.
it's live in a way, right? Yeah. Anyways, I'm good. Ready to talk Power Rangers. I'm excited for Wave 2. Seems like it's really resonating with people.
But
Yeah.
before we get started, the Super 7 Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Wave 2 is up for pre-order right now on super7.com and will be open until November 8th. So make sure you go check it out if you like the figures that you see tonight, and you can pre-order them right now. Here is Wave 2 of the Ultimates Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. From left to right, we have the Dragon Zord, Pink Ranger, Red Ranger, King Sphinx, and Rita Repulsa.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to give you a quick summary, some feedback of things that I've heard this week from people. You know, when I see new reveals, I post it on my Instagram, and you know, I ask people dope or nope. So much love for this Dragon Zord. I think that one stands out the most. And for me, when you guys first revealed Rita Repulsa, I was just I couldn't believe it. It was instantly like, I think I also saw in the comments it won over a lot of people. They're like, what's Lightning Collection? Or this might be the best Rita Repulsa that you can get.
When you messaged me about Rita Repulsa, I thought you were like mad at me for a second.
Oh, because I was like, what
the language that you were using? I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I hope he's not like, is he disappointed? Does he not like it?
Before we look into the figures individually, I just want to remind everyone, these are digital renders, and they're not entirely 100%. How would you phrase it? The final product will differ?
I mean, it says right at the bottom there, final figure may vary, right there.
How dare you tell me to read the fine print? The first one I want to look at, because I was just so blown away by this, will be Rita Repulsa, and then we'll go through the other ones. I always love the packaging. You guys always wow with how everything looks on here. Last series was the power coins on the box for the Power Rangers, and here we have Rita on her box. Shout out to the box art team.
Yeah, packaging team for Super 7 always crushes it. The Rangers still have their power coins, but you'll notice that all of the villain characters kind of have this diamond shape. She has this classic kind of cackling look. You know, she's never not smiling except for when she has a headache. You know,
did it bother you that her brother's name was Rita Repulsa? Like, why wouldn't they have the same last name? All right, dude. Here's a digital render of all the awesome accessories that this character comes with. I have no idea how this is going to fit into the box. I want to wish your packaging team the best of luck, because this has a crazy amount of accessories.
The packaging team definitely will message me every time we have a new one, be like, Kyle, really? Do we have to put this in here? It's like, yeah, man, it comes with it. Sorry, like, she needs the telescope. Her hair is that big, you know.
This is incredible. Compromise.
Yeah, the Repulsa scope, never been done as an accessory before.
I love it. So, do you want to start with that first?
Yeah, I mean, every episode of Power Rangers, she's looking down on the Rangers, making her evil plans from the Moon Palace with the Repulsa scope. So watched a lot of episodes, grabbed a lot of screenshots. it's obviously the real one, or the one that they use on the show, has like this kind of whole like big setup and stuff to it, which we obviously couldn't give that to you. So we wanted to give the best version of the Repulsa scope without, having my packaging team murder me. I mean, you'll still get the black and the gold accents and that nice clear orb and stuff, which it looks so nice. And I've seen it in person. Like, it's going to be a really crisp and clear little orb at the bottom there.
And of course, we have her famous staff.
Yeah, that's right. The magic wand. Make my monster grow.
Is
Throw
it
it
a
into the
wand
ground.
if it also assists in walking? I feel like it's also a staff. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is. But I mean, the line, right, is magic wand, make my monster grow, right?
Yeah, they really didn't care. I'm completely overanalyzing it. But the details on this look incredible. Is that going to be a real chain on there?
It is going to be a real chain. I knew that was going to come up. I am all about the real steel chains on my action figures. I feel like it adds such a nice premium feel to that. Like, I mean, think about Michelangelo in Wave 3 Turtles. He's got the real steel chain nunchucks and Panthro from Thundercats and that kind of stuff. Like, I love figures that have those chains on them.
It adds more realism to a toy, as crazy as that sounds. We're gonna go to the face sculpts and everything at the end, because those are just stellar. But we have I guess I can't zoom anymore. This green candle.
That's right. It's the green candle. That's the candle that has, it's tied to Tommy's powers. When the green candle burns out, Tommy loses his powers. From the episode called The Green Candle, Tommy eventually, gets it away from Rita and saves the day and gets his powers back and stuff. But it was such a cool little nod, because, Green Ranger is, Rita's personal ranger, and she has that power coin and stuff. So you'll see a lot of her accessories tied directly into kind of Green Ranger lore.
Sweet. And right next to the candle, we have 3 sets of swappable hands.
That's right.
I mean, the detail on this is from these pictures looks awesome, because it has all the jewelry with all the different colors. It looks like some of the fingernail is the nail polish.
Yep, she's got her signature kind of metallic purple nail polish, and me and the research team watched a lot of episodes trying to, pause at the right time and grab what the rings actually look like. And there is a lot of like, how do I enhance this image to make it not so pixely and get what that actually looks like and stuff. So kudos to the research team, who really stepped up and really helped out try to get these rings right. Because originally she was just going to have kind of just a bunch of gold ones, but then no, like, if you look at it, like there's these big and silver ones and white with black and all these kinds of different jewels and stuff. Like, let's get it right.
I love it. You said this is Ultimates. We're gonna do this justice.
Right.
So when the first picture came out, it was just the expression on Rita, which is this one on the body, which I already thought was stellar. But then when this came out with all the accessories, and you have this one, this one's like her monster's just been defeated, and she's like, I have a headache.
Yeah, that's when I was writing it down, I called that's the headache head.
Yeah. So. Can you give me I have a headache?
Oh, you're giving me such a headache. Yeah, it's not as good as my Goldar.
Sorry, Goldar was back in Wave 1, so you'll have to go back and watch that video.
That's right. If you want to see that impression, it's out there.
This pained look that she has. Yeah. It's such a great capture of that expression, man.
Yeah, I mean, she gets a headache at the end of every episode, because the monster always, explodes or whatever. So it felt, it's with Rita, it's Rita, it's kind of like 50-50, like smiling, evil, happy, yes, kill the Power Rangers, and oh no, they beat me again. You're giving me such a headache.
It's a good selection to have, depending on how you want to display it. For toy photographers, expressions are always huge in selling what you're trying to communicate in a photo. So having this head, I think, is fantastic. And then this other head, which Super7 always tends to excel in, is adding some deep cut accessories.
Yes.
For those who aren't familiar, tell.
This is Kimberly Hart head sculpt. There is an episode where Lord Zed kidnaps Kimberly in an attempt to give himself a new bride, and he puts her into the Rita Repulsa costume, and Goldar, is instructing Rita or Kimberly on how to become like an evil space queen, evil empress. And Rita, or not, God, I keep saying Rita, Kimberly, she's like, oh, well, they think that the spell that they put on me works, so I better play into it. And so she does,
Right.
Kudos to Amy Jo Johnson, because she does a perfect Rita Repulsa impression.
Oh, much better than both of us.
Yes, it's really good, and that's one of my favorite moments from the show. So I thought it was, and I've never seen it done before, so it felt like such an awesome thing that would make a ton of sense to do. Just one extra head, and you have another level of play value.
That's cool, man. And it's like it's the value of having somebody who's such a huge fan working on this line, because when you put something like that into the product, the fans, the hardcore fans will see and they'll be like, "That's so cool," and they'll know, they'll be like, "This hasn't been done before." I mean, you could easily try to swap Kimberly heads from other things, but it's not going to give you the same look,
Yeah,
the accessories, all the makeup and stuff and the hair that lends itself to the scene. So
yeah.
that's so cool, man.
And you had talked about expression and stuff in it. Like, I realized that we realized that it doesn't necessarily really look like Kimberly, but if you go back and watch that episode, she, like, her whole body language changes, her whole expression changes. She was like shouting, she's showing her teeth, her eyes are all wide
Yep.
and crazy like that, because she's trying to match Rita. And so I've had other Power Ranger figures and stuff, and I've tried to head swap with Kimberly and Rita, and it just doesn't look right, because it's
No.
Kimberly being like all cute and stuff on this like Rita body, and that's not how she that's not how
Yeah,
she
man.
acts.
We have three more accessories here.
We'll go left to right here. Left, she's got her drink glass. There's quite a few episodes where her and her evil court in the Moon Palace will celebrate the demise of the Power Rangers, and they'll cheers with these little glasses and
Right.
drink and celebrate. So there's that. There's a little celebratory chalice, I guess you could call it. And then in the center there, that's the green crystal, again tied to the powers of the Green Ranger. Kind of how the main Rangers have their power crystals to power up the Megazord and their individual Zords. This is the green crystal that belongs to the Green Ranger, but Rita happens to have and is tied to his powers and stuff. That's kind of like an overarching theme, as you know, as a fan, that she's always trying to get those powers back from him. So green crystal there. And
Nice.
then finally on the right is the love potion, which she uses to make Zed fall in love with her, so she can get her standing back in with the Moon Palace and the evil court of Zed. Because when he first showed up, he put her back in the space dumpster and kicked her to the curb a little bit, right?
Even though she was the villain, it's like, oh, don't put her back in there. I felt kind of bad.
Well, it's so small, right? And I felt very claustrophobic.
Okay, and finally, the most beautiful part of this figure is this angry, the evil laughter, evil Rita Repulsa head. And actually, you know what? Let me zoom out for a second so we can see the whole figure, because we have to appreciate the design on this figure, the soft goods, the patterns. You have all this jewelry here.
That's right.
On the
And
hands,
those will also be real chains again there.
Oh, okay.
So, because if you look at her bracelets, they kind of vary from the Japanese show to the American version. But one thing that was consistent, there's always kind of these gold kind of chain danglies that were there. So we're gonna make sure that those are there.
And this robe of hers, soft goods. Can you
Correct
speak on that a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know that'll be soft goods, and that is done by our incredible friend CJ over at CJism, who just knocked it out of the park, making this it's the correct length and width and all that stuff. Just because I've seen, like I said, there's been other Rita figures before, and the dress is usually off somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So we really worked tirelessly again with that awesome research department that we have to make sure that all of these designs were correct and all that.
It looks so good, like you said, the length, just how it flows, how it sits. It looks like it's right out of the show.
That's always the goal. We try to be as accurate as possible, like with this chest armor and stuff, which I feel like has been attempted quite a bit.
Right.
But again, we worked really tirelessly to try and make this as accurate as possible, get it to match with this like kind of weird spider thing that's there. It's not quite a spider, not quite like spikes. People are probably already saying like, "Oh, it's already inaccurate." But the collar we chose is the American version of the collar. The Japanese one kind of has like this kind of like constellation look to it.
Okay.
And we while we were looking at that, we found it to be one pretty difficult to get a completely accurate read, but also like for us, like most product and stuff that people really connect with the character is this kind of Americanized version of the collar with the triangles. So
Right.
we lean into that.
This is probably one of the best Power Rangers. I mean, I know it's a render, and I don't have it in hand, but it
Sure.
looks so spectacular. I feel like it's one of the best Power Rangers products out there, not just Rita, but like overall, man. So I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah. Me
Great
too.
job.
Thank you. She's always been one of my favorite villains, so I'm very excited to be able to do justice.
Cool. So while keeping on with the villains theme, the other villain in this wave is King Sphinx. Here is his lovely packaging with his square diamond coin.
Yep.
You see a render of him here in the box. Well, let's just get into the figure itself, man.
I want people to know he's ginormous. He is 8 inches tall, so he'll be in scale with the Goldar from Wave 1
Nice.
and in scale with the Zord figures as well, because he grows up and fights the Zords. He's gonna be massive. He's gonna be a very hefty, impressive figure.
That's cool, man. It's great that it scales with Goldar. That you guys have it in mind that it's going to fight the Zords that are also in the line. Looking at this right now, if you haven't read any of the descriptions or anything, it's like, okay, maybe it doesn't have as much stuff as other Ultimates figures, but this is a 8-inch figure. It's larger than
Yeah,
the other ones. If we look into the feathers on its wings, it's
yeah,
beautifully detailed and painted. Everything, all the details on the costume. There's some kind of shading on the
yeah.
arms and chest here. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, so the suit had varying levels of sprays added to it, and like as you watch the show, if you look at more and more reference, you get like a lot of stuff that's like, oh, here's this version, but like there's no paint on the hieroglyphics, or here's this version, but there's no paint on the wings, or here's this version, it doesn't have the blue, it's just the black, or and so like it feels like they were like on like on set adding more sprays, adding more colors and stuff as it went. So we wanted to add as much of the stuff and really compile all of that information into one figure, just so it feels like all of these touch points that we were looking through for King Sphinx. Quick anecdote about him being the same size as Goldar. Well, it makes sense because they're like both monsters. They both fight the Zords and stuff. When I was a kid, when I was watching the show, because they always like Goldar and King Sphinx fought together quite a
Right.
bit. I always thought they were brothers when I was a little kid.
I mean, it doesn't seem that far-fetched.
No. And I mean, now we know that like Goldar has an actual brother, Silverback, from the comic books and stuff. But
Can you talk about the articulation on this dude? What we're looking at?
sure.
If whatever may not be apparent when we're just looking at this figure
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
picture.
for sure. Especially because he's kind of a weirdo, just in that he's a monster and stuff. So he's might not have a normal articulation scheme. So
Oh, that's
uh,
what you meant.
yeah, he ball joint head, and we'll look up and tilt around and stuff. The ball joint at the diaphragm, you can
Cool.
kind of see it, but it cuts right below where that eye is on the chest there. And then there's another ball joint at the waist too, so you'll get kind of a double sort of diaphragm cut ball joint waist crunch sort of thing. I think you can see it there a little bit. There you can see kind of where the seams are.
Right.
Ball joints at the legs with thigh swivel, single jointed knees, and then full ankle rockers there. Interchangeable hands, of course, single jointed elbows, bicep swivel, and then ball joint shoulders. The shoulder pads are separate pieces though, so they'll lift up, so none of your arm articulation is going to be hindered at all. There's a ball joint at the tail and a ball joint at both of the wings. So he'll be able, in the show he does that like flapping
Yeah.
move and like wind
In
blasts the
the
Rangers.
Japanese version, he blows the kids away, doesn't he? Like,
I think so. Yeah,
it was a guy who did like he ask
like a game
kids
show. Yeah,
trivia. Yeah, it was a game
it's
show
like
host.
it's like a question mark is the staff, right?
And then when the kids got the question wrong, he just like launched them into
Blew
oblivion.
them away, yeah.
Yeah, you have that question mark staff right there, and you have an alternate expression here.
Right. That's right. The yelling head versus the the slightly less yelling head on the body.
This is the you got the answer wrong.
That's
Fate.
right.
Colors look fantastic. The paint on the wings look beautiful. It's just it's gonna look great alongside Goldar, the larger figures. It's this one is another one. Actually, before we move on, here is a separate photo that shows a little bit more of the articulation. Maybe I should just use this photo from now on for the rest of the figures.
Maybe. I mean, but yeah, you can see the two points of articulation in the torso at work there, like giving you that nice twist up so he can slam down with his staff.
All right, let's move on to the next in this wave. Let's go to the Pink Ranger Pterodactyl, the second appearance of Kimberly in this wave. We have the lovely Pterodactyl power coin. Here is the Pink Ranger, and what I love, and I think a lot of people love about Super 7 Ultimates, is that if there are two characters who played that Ranger, you have you've included both of their portraits. This is the same thing happened with the Yellow Ranger in Wave 1, and I think your mentality when you explained the Yellow Ranger was that at this price point, we don't want you to buy two figures just to get both characters.
No, that would be pretty bogus. They're called Ultimates for a reason. They should give you the ultimate amount of accessories. So
Beautiful.
And for me, when I know that there's usually Team Kimberly, Team Cat, like these characters, the Rangers, the show, they're not what they are without both of their contributions to the Pink Ranger suit or to the Yellow Ranger suit or whatever color Ranger we're talking about here. So I think it's important to do.
A really cool thing, you guys had the actor who played the second Pink Ranger, Catherine Sutherland, reveal this figure on social media. I thought that was really cool. Nice to see. She was really looked like she was really impressed with the figure.
Yeah, she was super stoked. She was super nice. We reached out to her and be like, "Hey, do you want to show off your figure?" She's like, "Yeah, no one ever asked us to do that stuff. That's so cool." So,
Kyle, why don't you school us on some of these accessories here?
sure. People who have pre-ordered Wave 1 will be pretty familiar with what you're getting here. I mean, there's the Open Morpher with the Pterodactyl Power Coin and the Power Crystal with the Pterodactyl Power Coin, so she can become a Ranger and power her Zord. You get the Toyetic Blade Blaster, which is kind of based off of the old school toy version accessories of the Blade Blasters that you get. And then to the right there, you get every version of the Blade Blasters, Blade, Neutral, and Gun, because they transform. They have many modes, and want to make sure that you have every possible combination of Blade Blaster you could ever need.
Because this is Ultimates.
That's right. Right below that, you have the Power Ribbon, which Kimberly uses against a very specific monster whose name escapes me because I am filled to the brim with Mighty Morphin knowledge. And I usually, whenever I learn something new about Mighty Morphin, something gets squeezed out and I don't know what it is until I need to recall it. And right now is that moment. So you'll have to forgive me. It's her power.
Watching this and you know what it is or who she used it against, let me know in the comments below.
Yes.
On top of that, we have this cat.
PC. That's right. That is Cat as a cat before she became a human or became a monster, then became a human, then became a Power Ranger. So technically you get two versions of Cat in one box. Then to the right there, you have three versions of the Power Bow with her Power Arrow. You'll notice that there's one Power Bow with a string, and that'll be an actual elastic string that'll snap and all that stuff.
Oh, cool.
There's one without the string, and you can't see it from this angle, but on the underside of that, there are clips in the bottom that will hold the power daggers and the possible power lance and all that to help you create the power blaster once all of the ranges are released.
Yes.
So
We wouldn't want to assume anything or get too far ahead of ourselves.
no.
It just has slots for other
For
things.
whatever you want. Yeah, put your spaghetti in there. Who cares?
Put your ribbon in there.
That's right.
And then on the right you have the tribute to the toy
That's right.
bow.
The toyetic power bow. That's right. In that swirly silvery plastic.
All kinds of hands. I mean, she does a lot of great poses. You're going to need different hands for bow action as well. And you get an arrow there. Can you, for people, in case they haven't seen Wave 1 and the articulation on the Yellow Ranger.
Sure.
Wait, the Yellow Ranger doesn't have the skirt, so it's different.
Yellow Ranger does not have the skirt. So it is basically a very similar construction. The skirt makes it a little bit different. So there's a ball joint at the head. There's a diaphragm cut there right underneath the rib cage. That's right. So you can get your side to side. That's right. Do all that. There's also a ball joint at the hips and the waist. So like kind of like King Sphinx we talked about, you get that nice kind of double crunch, double back action there. There are ball joints at the hips and thigh swivel. The skirt itself has slits on either side, so it won't hinder your articulation at all on those legs.
Oh,
yeah. You can't see it there because the holster for the blade blaster kind of covers it up, but there are slits on either side.
Awesome.
The knees are single jointed. There's a boot swivel there, boot cut, and then ankle rockers at the feet.
That helmet looks fantastic, and I think almost looks like a 1-to-1 scale prop that they would use. Like it looks really good. Maybe it's just the reflection on the lens.
Yeah, I mean, we worked really hard to get it as accurate as possible. This is actually the helmet that we struggled with the most, just because there is like a balance of, because they're all kind of based off of motorcycle helmets and stuff, right? And there's actually the more I study these helmets, the more I fall in love with those designs and how they're constructed. Because like the male helmets have very much like round kind of features to them, but then like the Pink Ranger one definitely has like a little bit more of a narrow profile and like more of a heart shape and stuff, but it still feels like that motorcycle helmet, and it still feels like it's in that design family, and it's just beautiful. And there's actually the Yellow Ranger, while it was originally a man in the Japanese version, the later versions I think they redid the helmets for like Trini and Aisha to be a little bit more feminine and in line with the Pink Ranger.
Okay. Awesome. Well, this looks great. Obviously, looking forward to adding that to the main team. And further adding on to the main team, we have the Red Ranger. And oh man, look at all that stuff in the box. Here we go.
Fully loaded.
Fully Ultimates. Can you give us a Robo style?
Ultimates! I need the like voice filter. Can you do a voice filter in post on that? No? Okay.
No. Off the bat, the helmet looks really, really fantastic. And like the Pink Ranger and the other Rangers, you have multiple heads here. We have Rocky and Jason.
Yeah.
Can you talk about these two heads?
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying before, with Ultimates, if a character was played by two different actors, we're going to give you both heads. So this with that, you get Rocky DeSantos and Jason Lee Scott. I mean, or Jason Scott Lee. Yeah. And I always get them confused. It's Jason Scott Lee. But yeah, they're looking so confident and so cool. Like Rocky's, knows he can take you on, but then Jason's like knows he can take you on. Like he's never really like smiling with his teeth, right? He's always just kind of like hugging and mean mugging people because he knows he's the leader of the Power Rangers. And what are you gonna do? I'm the Red Ranger,
And I love just like the Tommy from Wave 1, there's still the earring.
That's right. It's very important for the period specific era TV show that is Power Rangers.
lot of accessories for this figure as well. It's sure to be a hot item in this wave.
Yeah.
You know, we have the crystal, the open. Look, it's like I'm doing it this time.
There you
We
go.
have the
Can he
crystal.
do it?
We have the open morpher with the Tyrannosaurus coin.
Yeah.
We have the dragon dagger for the episode in which, and then you're gonna, because you know which episode it is.
Yeah, of course. The episode where Tommy gives him the power of the Dragon Zord coin and the Dragon Dagger, so he can control the Dragon Zord. I
Was
don't know
that
if
the
this.
teamwork episode?
Well, there's the teamwork one, but then there's also like I think there's a couple of episodes where Jason rocks the shield and the Dragon Dagger. He has the holster on the other side, on the on his right side, because typically they're on the left. But
Right.
then like in ours, the Dragon Dagger holster will clip onto his belt on the left side, so you can have both of them, like he does when he wears the Dragon Shield.
Awesome. We have like the other Rangers, the toyetic tribute to the previous blaster, the
Yeah,
blade blaster, and its 3 different configurations.
that's right.
And now the next items aren't as generic, so I'm gonna
They're
hand them
not.
off to you.
They're pretty close to Green Ranger, however, where you have the interchangeable arms that will you can pull them out of the socket and plug
Awesome.
them back in, because he's got the armbands for when he wears the Dragon Shield. That'll also make it much easier for you to put the Dragon Shield on. If you take the head off, take the arms off, put the shield on, put the arms back on, put the head on. Now he's good to go.
All in one figure. I love it.
That's right.
We have 2 beautifully crafted swords here.
That's right. Toyetic and then show accurate power swords. So that nice swirly silver plastic, and then a fully detailed, fully realized power sword that could be used for possible power blaster. You never know. And then all kinds of hands, like we talked about. He's got his signature. I call them air quotes, but I know that they're like, martial arts hands, and gripping hands and fists and everything you could ever need hands wise for a Power Ranger.
And the figure articulation, I guess it's the same as the Wave 1 figures, but for those who haven't watched the Wave 1 video,
Yeah,
I'll link it so you can watch it after. But
there you
Kyle,
go.
let them know.
Yeah, it's a very, like you said, very similar to Green Ranger. So ball joint at the head. You have a crunch, an ab crunch in the torso, but there's also a ball joint in the waist, so you get even more range of motion from that. There's ball joints at both the legs with thigh swivel, single jointed knees, boot cut, and ankle joint or ankle rocker, and then ball jointed shoulders, bicep swivel, single joint elbows, and interchangeable hands. So I mean, lots of movement. I mean, look at that. Look at those poses you can pull off with that thing. He's ready for battle. He's gonna shoot you down before he even gets to cut you up with a sword.
That looks good, man. That's like a good looking, iconic pose on a great looking toy.
Kudos to the render team who snuck in the control center in the background.
I was just gonna say, I just noticed this in the background. Saving what some believe to be the best, for last of Wave 2, we're going to talk about the Super 7 Ultimates, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Wave 2 Dragon Zord.
Dang.
First try, no edits. First take.
What a mouthful.
Assuming this is going to be another big boy that matches up with.
I go back to the in-package shot. This is an approximation. I have no idea if it's going to fit in like this. This is another one of those boxes where the packaging team I remember the guy who was working on it messaged me. He saw this and sent me a Slack message, and it just said, "Really, dude?" Which was so fun.
And you didn't even, there was no context. You knew right away what he was talking about, right?
I did. Yeah.
I'd be pissed too. I mean, I have a whole bunch of Ultimates boxes over there. And just how are you gonna fit this in here? The challenge is at your doorstep. Packaging.
It's probably gonna have to be something similar to the Scythe box from Thundercats that people are starting to get, just where it's a little bit deeper, a little bit taller. And when people get the Mumra, the Upper Living from Wave 2 Thundercats, that's also going to be a similar, larger format box. Because it's my goal to not have the tails be, consumer assembled. Because that's like my number one pet peeve is when I get a figure and it's like, oh, you finished putting it together. It's like, no, it's not what I'm paying you for. So
you're not a model kit guy, are you?
No, if I know that's what it is, then I'll do it.
Here we go. Dragon Zord.
Yeah.
Let us know. I want to talk about paint. I want to talk about articulation. I want to talk about the size of this thing. There are people who are waiting for something like this, and here's your chance to really. I don't think you need to sell them on it anymore, but for those who are just like, I don't know, for that one small group, let them know about those things.
Right. Well, first of all, let me tell you that he's 8 inches tall, but he's 8 inches tall to the top of his head that's in black there.
Right.
So the blade is even taller. So he's probably closer to 9 inches tall with the blade. So he's a big guy. The jaw articulates. There's a ball joint at the torso, so he can. I always remember when the Dragon Zord wins a battle. He's like,
hold on.
Right? No, don't zoom out for that. He does like this thing, right, where he like roars and does the wave. So he'll be able to do that as well. The arms are also on ball joints, so he can kind of get some nice movement in those little socket things there. Interchangeable hands with fists and the relaxed hands, which is kind of his default. But then, I mean, you zoom out, he's got everyone remembers that iconic shot where it zooms in on his fingers and like the missiles come out, and then he shoots his little bottle rockets out at the monsters. It's one of his signature moves. So that was something I fought really hard for, is like, we got to do the missile fingers.
Has any toy in the past included this effect?
No, not that I can tell. So, and I you know what, I might learn the hard way why that hasn't happened. So, but we're gonna try it.
You know what? I don't want you to fail. Like, this is so cool.
Yeah,
make it work. It's gonna work.
I mean, it's a cool effect. I'm very excited that we decided to go with it. I think it's gonna really make or break that piece. Like you were talking about toy photography earlier. Like, I think that's gonna be like probably the most used effect piece in this whole wave.
This picture shows off how lovely it is. It's got a little firework action.
You can see that torso ball joint in action there, right? And yeah, the jaw, and then there's a nice ball joint at the hips as well, and with thigh swivel, and then single jointed knees, and a little bit of ankle rocker there on the feet, as you can see that in action, right? Keeping those feet flat on the ground while those legs are super spread apart. The other thing that's kind of hard to see, but there's a ball joint in every single section of the tail, and I think it's like 5 or 7 sections or whatever. So that tail is fully articulated. You can make it do all kinds of crazy stuff. And
that's one of its main attacks, right? Just whipping it around.
That's right. And it's because of that tail being one of its main attacks. The drill at the end, that's on a rotation joint, so that'll spin, right?
Sweet. Yeah, you have the extra hands, the coin, which you also included in the Tyrannosaurus Dinosaur, yeah. Tyrannosaurus Dinosaur.
That's right. Yeah.
From Wave 1.
Yeah. So that coin is going to be a 1-to-1 replica. So it'll be like you have the actual power coin in your hand, and it'll be metal. So it'll have a nice weight to it. It'll feel really premium. Look really nice. And then you get a little Green Ranger for scale.
So awesome.
Some of my favorite shots of the Dragon Zord have Tommy up on the head while it's like rampaging around.
I don't suppose there's like a slot, or it wouldn't work where like you can hold him on the head, or place him on. Is there like a nice flat spot there?
Yeah, I mean, look at the top right in front of the blade. There's a nice kind of little flat spot there. You'll have to lean him back a little bit to get it to work, but he should stand just fine up there.
I mean, I love the little Red Ranger that comes with the Tyrannosaurus. So
Yeah.
you got to have this guy there, or standing on. I can 3D print some buildings, put him on the rooftop next to it, and
Yeah.
he'll be like, doo, doo, doo.
That'll be a cool display for sure. He's big, he's badass. He's all the gold and all the silver you see is going to be metallic paint is going to be nice and pristine and accurate to the show. I think you are right. I think people are correct in saying that this is kind of like one of the showstoppers of this wave. I would say it's him and Rita for me, but obviously I love them all.
Man, no, you're right. This is probably the main draw for me. Him and Rita. When is this wave scheduled?
Shit.
Well, thanks. I got to edit that out now. And Kyle, when is this wave slated to release?
We are aiming for a fall 22 release for these guys. Obviously, we have no clue what the world's going to look like when that happens. What 22 is going to even look like. There's obviously a lot of shipping delays and global shortages and backed up boats on the water and all that stuff. That's the goal. Things may change that are out of our control, and if they do, we will continue to update all the people who have pre-ordered, and continue to build that trust between our customers and us, just because we realize that there's a lot of delays and stuff, but it's always in service of a better product.
I'm very excited for these. They look fantastic, and I think I think they'll be worth the wait. This is wave 2. I'm excited. This wave 2 is so good. I almost forgot what wave 1 is. But wave 1 will be coming first early next year.
Yep.
So it's just, I'm excited and I can't wait for these. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, going through these toys, being able to call you a friend. It's super cool that you worked on these, and that we get to sit here and talk about this. So thank you so much for your work, your team's work, everyone's work, and your time for these incredible pieces of toy culture, toy history, man.
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. I do also find myself very fortunate to be able to call you friend, and how we've gotten close over this past year. Like you had said, it is a team effort. It is and it's an ever growing team at Super 7 with hundreds of hours of work and thousands of tears shed to make these figures the best product they can be. So no man makes a toy on their own. There's always somebody helping in some way. Like I said, I wouldn't be talking to you at all here if it wasn't for the incredible team at Super 7 who works tirelessly to make the raddest figures on the planet.
Pre-order your Super 7 Ultimates, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Is that right? That's right. Pre-order your Super 7 Ultimates, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Wave 2 on super7.com right now. Pre-orders are up and open until November 8th. Kyle, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everyone, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these figures. Have a great night and keep toying around. Peace. That was a nice little Dragon Zord wave, like with the short arm. Oh, I'm glad I'm recording still, because this part's going in the bloopers.
Oh, god damn it.
Pteranodon? Right. Did the Pteranodon replace Pterodactyl, or are they two different things?
I'm pretty sure they're two different things.
Okay. I thought it was one of those where, like, hey, you're no longer a planet. We're just science has advanced. Okay.
No. I'm probably gonna sound like an idiot, but I feel like Pteranodon is like the species and Pterodactyl is like the specific animal in that whatever. I'm no paleontologist, but I'm just gonna act like I know it all. So
you did the research.
So I'm gonna get your open morpher and your power crystal.
Is this? Are we getting into it now?
Yeah, this is it.
Ready? Okay, I don't know where the edit's gonna start.